Speaking of that fallout between the coach and captain of the Indian cricket team, Anil Kumble took to social media after resigning to clear the air and give his side of the story about the talks of a possible rift between him and the captain, Virat Kohli. In that Twitter page, Kumble said that the Cricket Advisory Committee featuring Sachin, Saurav, Lakshman all wanted him to continue as the coach of the Indian cricket team. But as per BCCI, Captain Kohli had reservations with his style of working. In fact, Virat Kohli had problems with him continuing as the Team India's head coach. Though the CAC body and BCCI did try to resolve the issues between the coach and captain, but their partnership was untenable. So quitting was the best option for him because the situation was going nowhere for both of them. A top BCCI source told India Today that over the last 5 months, there was no communication between the captain and coach, especially in the dressing room as well. Here's a report.
Brought in with much fanfare, Anil Kumble's honeymoon period with the Indian team is over. Yes, it's official now. Kumble has stepped down as head coach of the Indian team. The Indian team left for their tour of West Indies without a head coach, and a few hours later, Kumble conveyed his decision to the BCCI. Captain Virat Kohli would feel that he finally had his way, making it evident that captain is superior in Indian cricket.
I'm not sure that the captain and team should pick the coach. No, I think that's not the way to go about it.
Despite Kumble's impressive report card during his one-year stint, the head coach couldn't gather the support he needed. With Kumble at the helm, India won 5 Test series, became world #1 in Tests, won both the ODI series India played, and before he signed off, guided the team to the Champions Trophy final. But despite the on-field success, the rift between Kumble and Kohli was widening. In this captain versus coach battle, Virat had his way despite the Cricket Advisory Committee comprising Sachin, Saurav and Lakshman not in favour of removing Kumble.
Anil Kumble's is a rare instance of a coach being forced to step down despite delivering results across formats. Ironically, the team and the captain with whom he brought results had stopped believing in him. With the BCCI refusing to take charge, mishandling the entire issue, the inevitable had to happen. The Indian team has flown to West Indies for their next assignment, minus a head coach. In Mumbai, Rasesh Mandani for India Today.
Okay, I'm joined now by India Today's Rahul Dravid and also former Indian cricketer Nikhil Chopra. Nikhil, you know, the last time one saw a controversy like this between captain and coach, if I'm not mistaken, was during the time of Greg Chappell. But what has happened, Sunil Gavaskar describes it as the saddest day for Indian cricket. What do you think may have gone wrong when Anil Kumble did enjoy a hugely successful stint?
I'm not sure, Amantika. It's a little surprising to me as well because obviously the legendary figure that Anil Kumble is with his achievements in international cricket, you know, that in itself commands huge amount of respect, and he's always been one, you know, always transparent, great amount of positivity, absolutely, you know, true to his work, great work ethics. I don't know. Sometimes, you know, maybe egos, I'm not sure because we haven't heard anything coming from Virat Kohli's side. So, you know, it won't be right to comment at this moment in time. But, yeah, it is a little sad because one of your own legends from your own country, if he's looking after the team, we're hearing rifts between the dressing room. The environment in the dressing room is not the greatest. You know, the team won't be successful.
And not only looking after, Nikhil, also producing some fantastic results, isn't it? I mean, isn't it evident that this was really about personal equations? Because the breakdown was clearly irreparable despite the intervention of the 3 legends, Saurav Ganguly, VVS Lakshman and Sachin Tendulkar as well.
You know, absolutely. You know, that success, Avantika, no disrespect to anybody, but I think playing 13 test matches at home, you would have predominantly won quite a few. But the difficult period comes now for Indian cricket. Decision number 1, you have to think about some of the seniors, what you're going to be doing. Are they going to be carrying on till the 2019 World Cup? If not, somebody needs to, you know, quietly tell them, you know, we're looking at youngsters. We need them get their preparations on for the 2019 World Cup. That is one. Number 2, Indian cricket now is going to be traveling overseas. that is the most difficult thing. If you look all in history, whenever you played at home, it's the one odd series that you might have lost at home, but predominantly, majority of the time, you won every single series at home.
Yes.
It's when we go overseas, that's when the trouble starts. So, you know, in terms of preparation, this would have been the actual test for Anil Kumble. But to be honest, I don't think, he got a great amount of support. What was surprising to me, somebody of Anil Kumble's stature, Avantika, was handed out a one-year contract. So right from the very beginning, there was somebody who was unhappy with Kumble being handed over the reins. Because normally if you go back in history, you see when a coach is decided, it's normally World Cup to World Cup, in terms of preparation. And, we've always been advocating to the fact that there should be an Indian coach. When these Indian legends come forward to take over the reins, and you don't handle them with great amount of respect, I'm sure Anil Kumble has taken this decision saying that he doesn't want to continue as the head of the coaching staff because he was probably, not being welcome or the greatest environment towards him in that dressing room. So it's a man who commands a lot of self-respect will not continue to be coach of the Indian team. Tomorrow Anil Kumble goes anywhere in the world, I promise you, anywhere in the world, he'll be, welcomed with open arms.
Right. Rahul, and the situation went completely out of control. I mean, all of the trouble started just prior to the ICC Champions Trophy. And when I was reading the tweet of Anil Kumble, one thing was very clear, that it was not really about the BCCI asking for applications for the post of head coach, but the breakdown of relations between him and the captain of the team.
Well, absolutely, Avantika, at the start of this conversation, in fact, you mentioned about Greg Chappell and Saurav Ganguly.
Yes.
Remember at that time, who had to step down? That was, in fact, Saurav Ganguly, even though Greg Chappell was later, was shown the door. But before that, Saurav Ganguly had to step down. Here, it also sends out a message to the next coach who will be appointed that you have to fall in line as per what the captain wants. So these are not. This is not a very good. These are not the very good days for Indian cricket, of course, because as Nikhil just pointed out, the CAC. Virat Kohli, basically one man has overruled the decision of Saurav, Lakshman, and Sachin Tendulkar, who were part of the CAC, and also the entire BCCI and Anil Kumble, because Anil Kumble in his message has made it has written very clearly.
But Rahul, isn't
that
a
his
very
job
wrong precedent to
as
set that it's my way or the highway,
and you're not doing. So,
isn't that a very wrong precedent, Rahul, that it's, my way or the highway for the Indian cricket team? I mean, what kind of message will that go out for the other future coaches who will have to, lead the team in a particular way? If all the decisions have to be taken by the captain and the remaining players, then what's the need for a head coach in the first place?
Well, that's right. In fact, the job in these modern day cricket, you have a batting coach, you have a bowling coach, you have experts, everyone. So basically, the job of your head coach is also to manage. So is that what Kumble, who has such a huge stature, who has is an incredible record as a Test cricketer, as a cricketer overall. So Kumble would not stay back. If he has to say, he has to say. Because what we get to know is that after the loss to Pakistan in the final of the Champions Trophy, he gave a dressing down to the entire team. Like, for example, Jasprit Bumrah, he's a professional fast bowler who plays for a country. So you can't consistently commit these no balls. Rohit Sharma was in fact told that this is how you got out to Mohammad Amir during the Asia Cup, and you are getting out to him in a similar fashion again. So where is the improvement? You've got to learn from your mistakes. So which of course players considered it as a something that they didn't like. They thought that they didn't like his style of functioning, and they complained about it. And eventually on Monday, that is a day before yesterday, Kumble had a long chat with everybody, with the CAC, which wanted him to continue. Saurav, Lakshman and Sachin, they wanted him to continue, but unfortunately Kumble made a right decision, because if he If there's nothing happening, probably one had to step down, and he took that decision.
Just stay on with me. We have a reaction of the acting president for the BCCI, Mr. C.K. Khanna. Let's just listen into that reaction.
The role played by Mr. Anil Kumble in 1 year, and he played a major role that India became #1 in the test ranking. And we would appreciate and we would like that he will continue his services for Indian cricket, and I wish him all the best for future assignments.
Okay, so all sorts of reactions there coming in from the BCCI now, and they also have a tough task of appointing the coach as to who really will now be the next coach of the Indian cricket team. Remember, the former Indian skipper Sourav Ganguly, who is also part of the Cricket Advisory Committee, had urged the captain Virat Kohli and coach Anil Kumble to deal with the current crisis, to deal with all those rumours of a possible rift between the coach and the captain in the best possible manner. But then, of course, Anil Kumble came out with that tweet resigning from the post of the coach of the Indian cricket team.